So what is Indikin? Well, Indikin is essentially a Web3 protocol, smart contract, and it's aimed at facilitating collectives, of which the B250 will be the first one. Um, it basically allows people to create these collectives, these kind of plug and play collectives, which are comprised of 100 directors, 50 authors, 50 curators, which were called joiners previously in the Bitjoinery, and 50 hypers. So within every collective, there is 100 filmmakers that can basically interact with the Indikin protocol in a unique way, which allows them to produce what we call initial proposal assets, which are IPAs, which function as a kind of crowdfunding tool and production management tool for the filmmakers to interact with the three communities, the authors, curators, and the hypers, on a production. So you can best think of the Indikin protocol as like a type of studio, which provides a way for indie filmmakers to create a type of ephemeral production house using this IPA asset. So what happens essentially is filmmaker comes in, they have to have a director's pass, obviously, to interact with the protocol, and the same for the three communities. Each have to have their own type of pass to be able to interact with both the IPA and the protocol itself. This is all highlighted in much more detail in the white paper, but I want to give you a brief overview anyway. So a director comes in, they create their IPA, their initial proposal asset, and they make it public, and it functions as a sort of crowdfunding tool. And there is a whole cross-chain staking mechanism behind the scenes, which I won't go into now, but it's an important part of ensuring that there is always capital to be deployed to indie filmmakers' productions, IPAs. So let's assume that the people that have staked to the film funding pool, which is where the capital is derived for the IPA, everyone who is kind of in the ecosystem has indie tokens, is staked, and has voted for a particular IPA, has filled this IPA with, let's say $10,000. Now they're able to move to the next phase of production, or go into production even, as once that budget has been met as determined by the filmmaker themselves, along with the budget allocations to the three communities, that is automatically distributed from the film funding pool to the authors, the curators, and the hypers, again, as described by the filmmaker. So what happens then is the filmmaker is able to use this matchmaking DApp to interact with these communities in order to get the raw materials they need to make their film, editing, and marketing. Distribution is taken care of by like a streaming platform in app, but we are also looking to, and I'm working to establish potential distribution partners that are native to Web3 that are able to handle the functionality of the IPA in the distribution phase. So let's assume that the filmmaker has interacted with the three communities successfully and together they have produced their film. The budget has been depleted in each of the three communities. What is captured in the IPA is obviously all of that production information in the metadata, the interactions between the various collective members within that collective, and also logging, whose original content, where it's come from, and who owns it. And this is kind of packaged into the IPA that goes to the streaming platform, whether it's third party or Indikin streaming platform, and distributes streaming revenues back to those people that funded those stakers from the film funding pool that funded the production and those that worked on it throughout the production as well. And whenever there is streaming revenues, those are distributed back to those token holders, the role token holders, which are the directors, the authors, the creators, and the hypers. In effect, in relation to their direct contribution to that specific production. And there are many other mechanisms for increasing both the velocity at which IPAs get funded and can move into production, and in which the productions are incentivized to reach distribution phase, because these are kind of key moments in a indie filmmaker's production process, right? Getting funded, getting published. So we attempt to build the tokenomics models around incentivizing those behaviors.